Right now, though, we have a very special guest in the studio, Sissy Brown. And today, I did mention earlier that we were going to be discussing mental health on today's segment on the show. So go ahead and tell them who we got.
We have the owner and founder of First Step Counseling and Resource Center, Dr. Bettina Robinson. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Tell us a little bit about what you do and how you got started.
Oh, man, I started counseling years ago. As being a part of spiritual counseling and just, listening to people and their problems, trying to help them find solutions. So one day I thought, how about just trying to get some tools and information to go with the counseling that I do. So I went to Trevecca Nazarene University.
Nice.
And earned my master's degree in marriage and family counseling.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went on to get my doctorate degree in that as well. And so what I do mainly is just helping people to really think about mental wholeness instead of mental illness. Because when you think about mental illness, people kind of shy away from it. Mm-hmm. So I focus more on mental wholeness or emotional wholeness.
I like that approach.
Yeah, trying to give you
the
opportunity.
That's a lot better.
Exactly. Just kind of think about, what is it in my life that I can do or what my issues are that I can kind of get tools to help kind of navigate the process. And everything that may seem to be mental illness really is probably you just need some tools to help you to balance your emotional wholeness.
Oh, we got a lot to talk about. I mean, I don't know if I can ask questions now.
No, go ahead. You can ask a question.
Such as so what type of things in your life?
So mental wholeness, let's say, for instance, you deal with a lot of stress and anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
When you deal with that, people immediately think, man, something's wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe you need some tools to help you manage the stress. I mean, kind of dejunk your life, put some measures in place to set time aside for yourself, some wholeness for yourself, to kind of get things out of your life that kind of defeats your progress. To identify those areas and have the courage to get rid of them or to put something more healthier in the place of the things that you're doing wrong.
You know how they say, that diabetes is mostly self-inflicted?
Yeah.
Could you say that some of the mental health issues that people deal with can be self-inflicted mental health issues?
When you look at it, sometimes it's not necessarily that you're clinically, mentally, or emotionally have problems. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's the things that you've been associated with or things that's been introduced to you at the wrong level of your life to where you maybe couldn't maybe digest what it is or get a greater understanding of what's going on with you. When people say, or you hear people say, yeah, things like this happened when they were a child, that's really true. Mm-hmm. Because during those formative years, if you're introduced to something, let's say some kind of abuse or negative words or whatever, at that time, at that age in your life, you can't process it. You don't know how to put it in the right category. And so you carry that along. And if you don't have someone with you or someone who can help you kind of digest or understand what's going on in your life, then you kind of start building your life around those issues.
So that's why when someone goes to you, if they come to you, you say, take me back.
Exactly.
Like, let's start back from the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
you have to
very
find the pattern.
understandable.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna take a break, and if you guys would like to ask our expert in the studio today, she is a mental wholeness doctor. She also specializes in marriage and family counseling as well,
and child psychology.
Exactly. And if you have some of these questions, that you want to ask, because we got more questions.
We
can ask questions for the whole team.
Absolutely.
But if you have something that you want to ask specifically, hit us up, 737-9292. Once again, that's 737-9292.
My question is, on about 5 years ago, December 26th, something tragically happened to my family. My son was murdered by someone that he called his friend. In the meanwhile, my oldest son, at the time, he was 18, but my oldest son was like 24. They was together. And I feel that he feel responsible that he couldn't protect his brother because they started shooting at the car.
Okay.
And it hit my son in the neck, in the vertebrae, and it killed him. And my son, I think he needs some counseling because it's like he's not the same person, and I have tried to introduce him to it, but it's like he's not taken to it, as well as myself, because when my son got taken from me, it's like I won't go to counseling because I be like, how can someone talk to me that have not been in my shoes?
Okay. Dr. Robinson, would you like to address that?
Sure. One of the biggest things about counseling and what you would need, I would think, would be grief counseling to kind of help you you won't probably ever understand why it happened, but to kind of put it into a place to where you can deal with it. You can build your emotions around it, get clarity in it. And whereas your specialist really can't give you the answers that you need, but what they can is give you the tools to deal with the grief of it. And that's what you're looking for, is to try to make sense of how you move on in your new normal. And maybe, some things that you can do to to bring your family together through the tragedy.
You know what? Can I give you Dr. Robinson's number, and you can maybe ask a few more questions for? Is that
Yes,
can we do that? That number is 615-484-6360. 6360.
Okay, 615-484-6360.
Yes, ma'am. Give her a call, and I wish you peace on this journey. I know I'm so sorry to hear for your loss. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, I thank you guys. You guys have a blessed day.
You too.
as well. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, guys, we're in the studio right now with Dr. Robinson,
Yes.
Bettina Robinson, and she is a mental wholeness expert. Did I get it right?
That's correct.
I like
All right,
that.
I like that better in mental health, because people get on stigmas and everything else. So, and today she's helping us navigate through some things and taking calls on the show today. And she has a practice. Can you give them the information, sis?
She is the owner and founder of First Step Counseling and Resource Center. And again, that number is 615-484-6360.
Now she specializes in marriage counseling, so I know you got a question somewhere. Ain't you about to get married?
Yes, I'm about to get married.
I was married now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I do have a question, actually.
Okay.
Compromise. How hard do you think it is for couples to actually compromise or come as one from going from two houses into one?
That's a good question. I've been married going on 31 years.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Man, we got to put some plans on that
Then you can then I'm going to listen to you then. So.
one. I'm going to listen to you then.
It's a lot of work.
Young ladies, pay attention.
Yes, pay men too.
Yeah, okay.
Come on. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's possible.
Okay.
I think the greatest thing that you can do is communication. I mean, you love each other. You decided that you want to get married. So just communicate. I mean, because what you're doing is building your relationship and building how you communicate. The worst thing you can do is to hold your feelings and not express them, because you'll never know how you're going to navigate your relationship if you don't embrace or either work through your problems that you may have with what's going on. I mean, we're not mind readers and they're not mind readers, but we go into this situation thinking that you automatically know what I think or know what I feel.
That's true.
And so we don't put a demand on that knowledge to get to know me for who I am. And so it's a compromise. Even when you get married, I mean, I think that's when life really begins, when you get married. And you're going to have to figure out, how I love you. I may not like you at times, but what is the reason that we're together? And if you can find out and really embrace why God put you together and why you're the one, then when you hit those hard times, that's going to keep you in the relationship.
So if it's like they said, well, you asked that question, well, you should know that. What if that is an answer for a lot of your questions to someone? Well, you should already know that. We've been together for this long. You should know that.
Realistically, you're setting that person up for failure. Because how will they know except that you tell them? How will they know except that you put your feelings out there? We can tell everybody about everything else, how you should dress, what car you should drive, how you should cook the food, but we never take the time to put a demand on the relationship. And when I mean demand, it's not like browbeating, but saying, hey, I really love this. I love how you do that. Or, you know what? I like that you do this, but, I prefer it this way. And you guys work together to kind of navigate pleasing each other and how to work through hard times and situations when they come. Just remember that you're becoming one unit, and that's difficult.
All right, guys, we're in the studio right now with Dr. Bettina Robinson. If you would have a question for her, you can call us at 737-9292. In particular, if somebody might be riding right now in their car and they're going through it with their marriage, and you're thinking about counseling. If you have a question, you're like, I'm putting that out there right now. If you have a question, you're in marriage right now, you're married, you're going through it.
About to divorce.
Right now, about to divorce, anything like that. You better take advantage of this right now. 92Q, what's up? Who's this?
Hey, good morning.
You ain't got to tell me who you are if you don't want to. You don't have to tell.
I said Shay. That's a good name.
Shay, good. That's good. I like that.
Name. Okay.
What's your question?
Okay, so I guess it's a general, it may be a broad question, but as far as like marriage-wise, how do you get back to finding ways to trust each other after maybe there's been infidelity in the marriage. What are concrete steps that you can take to gain trust? Like, is it 1, 2, 3? Any advice on that area?
Okay.
Gaining trust. That's one of the biggest things in, in relationships is being able, once trust is broken, how do you regain it? I think if you have any kind of spiritual foundation, that was going to be one of your greatest things that you can access is your spirituality. You know, praying a lot, talking about the problem. And when there is infidelity or something like that, we go into it asking the wrong questions. We learn that in training that there are certain questions you don't want to ask because it's not going to give you the answer or the resolution. Like, why did you do it? You know, why? They'll say, I don't know, but they really will know. Mm-hmm. And so you have to ask the right questions. Where did you know, how did it come about? Was it something that I did? Was it something that you did? Are you not satisfied with your relationship? What can we do together in order to build this thing back? Make a covenant with each other that it happened one time, or happened whenever, but because I love you and because I value this relationship and I value you in the relationship, let's make a covenant that this isn't going to happen again. Or when I feel this way, I'm going to come to you, and I'm going to come to you, but don't judge me. Because sometimes stress of life can put you in a situation to where someone will come in and all of a sudden they're giving you the ear that you want. And instead of you going to your spouse or your significant other saying, hey, I feel this way, you're going to turn to the one. And I'm going to tell you why. You're turning to the other person because there's no accountability over there. Ooh, but I'm accountable to you. So it's easier for me to put on a face with the person I don't know and be the person that I think I want to be because there's no accountability. Versus going over here to the one that I'm committed to and saying, this is my flaw. This is who I am. Help me go through this together. Tell me, reaffirm me through this. And so that's why a lot of infidelities happen. It's because it's easier to live a life with no accountability than to be with the one and be honest and transparent with the one I am accountable to.
Man, y'all better get that one. She got it. I'll tell you right now, listen, if you guys have some more questions, you want to get some more things answered, the number to call, Sissy, give it to them.
615-484-6360.
And do we have some social media?
It's the Bettina Rob on Instagram.
Okay.
And Bettina Robinson on Facebook.
And that's Bettina.
That's correct.
Okay.
All right, guys, get online, make the connection, save your marriage.
Good luck to you, girl.
Work on it because marriage is work.
Especially that infidelity.
We appreciate you, the callers, and we appreciate you coming in today. Thank you, doctor.